Hello there guys, Francis Gray here, and in today's video I'm going to be squeezing in one last Halloween build. And in today's video we're going to be taking a giant human skull and we're going to be painting it up and customizing it into a much better prop. So sit back and relax and I'll see you at the end. Okay guys, so I bought myself one of these big prop plastic skulls from my local Asda store. Now it cost me £15. And they had quite a few of these in this year, and I do like the size of it. Obviously it's way too big for a human skull, but I do quite like the some of the details, like on the cracking on the skull, etc. But the main feature of this is it's got a little sensor down the bottom here, right there. And the idea is when it senses motion, it lights up different colours like that. But as you can probably hear the motor in it is really noisy. So two reasons I bought this. One, as soon as I saw it I thought, oh, I really like that. But the other reason is I'm looking for some kind of light feature that has like a shimmery water effect for a future project. So I thought for £15 I can use the light on a different project, and then I can pimp out this skull and give it a much better paint job rather than the bright bleached white that the PVC plastic is. So yeah, so two wins from one purchase, so win-win. So what I'm going to do is, because you might realise that even though it does look quite good as a skull, it's missing certain features, like the jawbone is connected, where in like other skulls the jawbone is separate, and then this part's more eccentric or more developed out. So yeah, it's not perfect as a skull, but just as a Halloween prop I thought it would be a cool project. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start by taking the insides out. Okay guys, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, because originally I thought there was wires leading up to the eye sockets, because it looks like that's what they originally planned, that the eyes would light up as well. But I'm thankful for that, because that makes this job a lot easier. So yes, I'm going to put this to one side and then we'll use this again another day. Okay guys, so the first things first, I'm going to take this part off here where you're supposed to hang it up somewhere. Okay, so for the next part I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this skull as a reference, and I'm going to use some air drying modelling clay and I'm going to try and sculpt the missing details.
Day 2. Day 3. Three days later.
Okay guys, so after leaving that a good 3 days to fully dry, for the next stage I'm going to go in with some of this stuff, which is regular white wood filler, and I'm just going to go over all the areas that we didn't cover in the air dry modelling clay, basically just so it fills in all the little nooks and crannies, so when we go ahead and smooth all this, it'll mimic the type of texture that the modelling clay provided. So, because if I went ahead and grey primed this now, you would see the original skull being a different texture to where we sculpted before. So it's just a way of blending the old parts in with the new. Okay guys, so now that that's been done, I'll leave it to dry and then we'll take it in the spray booth and we can give it a few coats of a nice grey primer. And now that that's dry, I'm going to go over it with a soft cream spray paint. Okay, so for the next part I'm going to go in with some more soft cream, but this time from a tester pot from Wilko's. And the reason why I'm going in with roughly the same colour again, but this time I'm applying it with a brush, is I just want like a thicker layer as a base coat rather than the spray paint airbrush. Now the spray paint from the airbrush is from the spray can, sorry, it's okay, but in the past I've noticed that once it hardens it does tend to crack a little bit. So I didn't want to go ahead and add like a detailed paint job to then later find that when I go to like matte varnish it to seal the paint job in place, that it would react and crack. So this coat basically is just to help protect the paint job later down the road. Okay guys, so now that the main base colour is dried, I'm going to go in, I'm going to water down some brown acrylic paint, mix it very thoroughly, and I'm going to apply it on and then rub off the excess. And what this does is basically gets into all the little nooks and crannies and acts as like a shading wash. So it's always better to start off laying like a wash to add like a bit of depth before you start adding the major details. So this is a very important step, so it looks a bit messy but it's well worth doing in the end. Okay, so I left that to dry overnight, and the next day I decided to dry brush some highlights onto the skull with some regular mushroom grey, again from a tester pot. So what this does is basically it just adds like a highlight to all the raised surface areas of the skull, and it starts to give the skull more of a bony kind of colour scheme rather than like the brown. So it takes a while to do, and you only want a little tiny little bit of paint at any one time. You don't want to put it on too thick because it'll stand out like a sore thumb. So this does take a while to do, but it is worth doing in the long run. Okay guys, so again, once dry, for the next stage I'm going to go in with some of this stuff, which is expanding foam. Now this project doesn't desperately need this step because it's quite sturdy PVC as is, but if I'm truthfully honest, I had to use some expanding foam on a different project, and if expanding foam, unless you use it all in one go, it tends to not be usable next time. So instead of wasting it, I thought I'd use it. So as you see there, that's the first lot hardened and expanded the day after, and I went ahead and I topped it up again with a second can a couple of days later. So it's all completely foam filled now. So now that we've got one tough solid skull, for the next stage I'm going to go in with some black and an airbrush, and I'm just going to start adding some of the darker tones and details. So the next day I went in with another dry brush of a Git Again mushroom grey, and this again is to add another highlight layer, but also it'll go over some of the areas that we painted the black the previous day, and it'll maybe make it look so it's all natural bone, but there is a natural shadow layer there. So I hope that makes sense. So for the next part I'm going to go in with some black acrylic, and I'm just going to darken the deep recesses of the eye sockets and the nostrils. And for the next part I'm going in with some bright yellow and shades of brown watercolour to add some stainage to the teeth, basically just to highlight them separate from the rest of the skull. and at this point I'm going in with some black watercolour, and I'm taking my time and making sure that it gets into all the little deep recesses of the cracks on the skull. So same again, this just adds a nice layer of depth. And now I'm going to use the same black to add a layer of depth between the teeth. And next, a very fine dry brush of, again, mushroom grey, just to the very edges of the teeth. Same again, just to add a highlight. And now that all those layers are dry, we need to go ahead and seal it on in place with some regular matte varnish from a spray can. And then I need to do all the sides and the top, and then we're going to leave that to dry, and then we're going to flip it on its side, and then I'm going to do the underside as well. Okay guys, so I hope you've enjoyed this prop build. This is the last one that I've managed to squeeze in before the end of 2021, Halloween. Aww. So the next videos are going to be concentrating back onto regular models and dioramas, etc. Yay! So if you've enjoyed this prop build, please smash that like button and share on Facebook and Twitter, because it helps new people find the YouTube channel, which I'm always appreciative of. Thank you for any help. If you have any comments, comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future builds. So once again, I'm Francis Gray, and this is the giant human skull Halloween prop build. I'll see you in the next one.